I will feel, a little bit weird if I don't have a little podium in front of me where I can rest my flashcards. However, the more comfortable you feel with a speech, sometimes, even when we see like presidents delivering speeches, you see them, they're standing behind the podium. So they're not,
right.
They have something in front of them. So that is a very a way that most people use. But again, the more comfortable you feel, the more you can get away from that. And it makes it a lot more informal when you get away from the podium. So it makes it more like you're closer to your audience, and there's nothing in between you and the audience anymore, so you can connect with them better. So you can use that strategy when maybe you're making a point and, you walk a little bit away from the podium and you just get closer to the audience. You make a few steps forward so they feel that you're engaging with them at a more informal level, and they feel that you're closer to them, like you're a friend, you're there for them. So I definitely will use that, moving on stage as a strategy to your advantage to get full benefits of your message. The message that you want to convey.
Right. So your suggestion is when somebody gets stuck or forget about, they should stay silent and walk around a little bit just to regroup themselves?
Yes, that's definitely a good strategy. Silent is very powerful. So you can use silence as a powerful tool to make people pay attention to you, because in a public speaking setting, everybody's looking at one person. If you're delivering the speech, everybody's looking at you. So you want to create certain moments during the speech that retain or maintain the audience attention. And you also want to make it flow in a way that it doesn't get monotonous. So you want to have highs and lows. You want to change the pitch of your voice, the level of your voice. You want to be more intense when you want to talk about certain points, and you want to be more, maybe softer when you're talking to them like you're their friend, or you're giving them a story that touches your heart. So then the speech has a flow to it. It's like a beautiful story that you're sharing with them. And the idea is to keep the audience attention from the beginning to the end. So it's important to understand all the tools that we have. And if something happens, like I said earlier, that you forget about something and you have to have a silent moment, use it to your advantage, because people are going to pay more attention at that moment than when you were talking. So...
Good point. That's a very good point. I'm going to ask you a question about Tangoflex, because some people tend to think that Tangoflex and yoga. I would say, what would be the difference between Tangoflex and yoga?
They're completely different. In Tangoflex, we connect the body and the mind. The stretches and exercises have a particular order and sequence with the purpose of increasing flexibility and range of motion, as well as strength and balance. We use breathing techniques to maximize certain stretches and certain movements. The terminology in Tangoflex is simple, and the transitions are very unique and systematic. As I got deeper into the study of Tangoflex and about flexibility in general, and I wanted to learn more and more, because that's a problem that I have, that I always want to learn more and more. So I started traveling the world looking for answers to specific questions that I had, and I wanted to know more about, for example, breathing or flexibility, or why people in some countries in Asia they're so flexible. Why do they live so much longer? So I went to India, I went to China, to Thailand, to Malaysia, to Japan, and I learned so much. You know, for example, in India, yoga is completely different from the yoga that we see here in the States. Actually, one of my Tango students is a master yogi born in India, and the concept that we share in our Tango classes about connection, about intention, about the inner power of movement and looking into the body, she often related to the yoga practice that she teaches in India. And also in Japan, I lived with the monks and learned specific ways of breathing to calm the mind and set your soul into a pattern of success. So I wanted to use all this amazing knowledge that other people had, and they've been doing it for thousands of years, and use it and take a few things and apply it into the method. In Tangoflex, we use a methodological, physiological, and functional aspect of flexibility applied to different stages in people's lives.
Right. You know, that's the question I wanted to ask you about breathing. And you mentioned it, some of these high civilizations, such as India, Japan. So what did you learn in Japan about breathing? Can you share that with us?
Yeah, so we were staying with the monks in Japan in a temple, and every morning they would do exercises. And the exercises were very simple if you think about it. It was just, we were on the floor, you know, your knees are bent, and it was all about closing your eyes, connecting to your body. And then, I mean, there's different techniques on different breathings, but the simple thing about it is that if you visualize how breathing happens, and you visualize, like maybe even a warm sensation. It was extremely cold, by the way. Maybe that's why I remember this. But if you even visualize that you're getting warm by the way you breathe, it's amazing how your body connects to your mind, and you can even start feeling a warm sensation in your body. And that was one of the things that stayed with me the most. And I think with the breathing, actually you hit it right on the right country, because I learned so much in Japan about breathing. And then making that connection with the mind and body. And the visualization, how it can change your breathing. Like if you start breathing and you bring thoughts to your mind that are painful thoughts, or stressful thoughts, then your breathing is going to change naturally. So the things that we put into our mind is going to affect our body. It's going to affect the way we breathe, and it's going to affect the way we move, because it's all related and it's all interconnected.
Right. Well, this is a very interesting subject, but we are at the end of our interview. If you are just joining us, we had a great guest today, Victoria Sarquisse, who was just talking to us about Tangoflex, public speaking, flexibility, and breathing. These are very important subjects. So, Victoria, before we separate in this part two, can you one more time, please, for people who wanted to join you or are interested in your topics, can you share your phone number and your website, please?
Yes. So all the information is on the website, and the website is www.tangoflex.com, and it's tango as in the dance, flex as in flexibility, so tangoflex.com. All my information is there, my email, my contact information. I have a page in Instagram, in Facebook, also Tangoflex. So if you go to Facebook and type Tangoflex, or Instagram and you look it up, Tangoflex, then there's a page there where I keep in touch with, the world. We have that luxury today that we can keep in touch with the entire world just with social media. So it's a wonderful way to communicate and to learn about the program and about the benefits of Tangoflex and how the evolution of Tangoflex and what we're getting into now, the new phase of it.
Thank you so much. That's the end of our program today. Victoria Sarquisse, thank you. And I'm going to learn later on about this new technique of breathing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sekou. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Great pleasure.